models here. Have that be the oh yes.
Alright, what can I say, man? Hey you guys, how's it going? This is Silver Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, and I am here today with my good friend,
The Duggernaut. Hey guys.
Hey, what's going on? Alright, so here is the deal. As we were doing the sound check, the main hard drive that has all of our theme music and our opening credits and all that stuff started clicking. You guys know what that means. I know what that means.
Yeah, it's been a little
yeah, exactly.
little bit of a sphincter clenching moment.
Yeah, and then we looked up and I'm like, holy crap, we're 10 minutes late. I'm trying not to run this thing on CP time. Seriously, I'm trying not to run this on CPT, but
yeah,
what can you do? So how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. The coffee's helping. My daughter was one of those. I think how I phrased it earlier was I'm obligated to love her, and so she was testing the limits of what she can get away with under that paradigm.
I'm sure.
So that was yesterday for me. But it was good. It's one of those things where there's the little bit of the honey where some super sweet snuggly daughter times, like, oh, we're watching movies, this is so nice, so great, and then she ate a candle this morning and she was just being a general terror.
Ate a candle.
She ate a candle. Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah.
I understand the terrible twos. I really do.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just wondering, like, all right, when his daughter gets to that point, what is she gonna be doing? So she ate a candle. Your kid likes wax.
I don't even. Yes, she does. She eats crayons and stuff.
Oh, dude, keep them away.
No, I had to hide all the crayons because it'll be like, oh yeah, you want to color? She'll be like, yeah, she'll color. We're having some fun, and then I'll turn my back for 30 seconds. I turn around and it's just like colored wax dripping out of her mouth. And she doesn't.
I am your daughter.
Yeah. Like she doesn't swallow the wax. It's not like she's really eating it. She's just chewing on it and then spitting out the gross slobbery wax.
Yeah.
Same thing with the candle. She chewed up and spit candle all over my floor, and I'm just like, I love you so much. I am contractually
yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah, I've got enough oxytocin in my brain at this point regarding you that you're gonna survive this, but just barely.
Keeps having a bit of a problem. I'm not quite sure.
What's wrong with the... Oh, hey, the stream's offline.
It goes on, it goes off, it goes on, it goes off. I'm really not sure if it's the internet that I have here in the Wizard's Tower, or if it's the software I'm using, but that's getting upgraded within the next 30 days.
So is the is the software that you're using is that what's cutting out, or we just don't know yet?
Literally just don't know.
Okay.
Just don't know. But here's the thing. You get what you pay for.
You use free software?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, but so what I'm doing right now is I want to say hello. Hello. To you.
Yeah. Thank you. And
our good friends,
the lovely chat.
The chat. How you guys doing? Only got a couple of people in the chat today because it is Sunday, and we are lazing on a Sunday afternoon here on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Guess what? It's still hot.
It is.
So hot.
Though
my ear is cooking.
Lovely listeners, I have to let you guys know that the Cinematic Sorcerer here.
Yeah.
He's doing good work here.
I'm doing my best.
And he's doing his best to make it less miserable here.
Yeah. No, I literally let's just say I'm missing a couple of teeth, and it hurts a lot from having to cast that frost spell.
Well, you've succeeded. You've succeeded in doing the thing that everyone who has Ray of Frost in D&D has probably done at some point, which is cool off their local area using a cantrip.
Yeah. Yeah. This is not. Oh God.
No, this is not a cantrip.
Yeah, no,
this is
this is a flat out spell.
Yeah,
This
no, I
is-
think you're looking at some probably a level 2 spell for like cool area. Ooh, level 4 spell.
level 4 spell.
Ugh.
Here's the reason. The spell is going against the natural being of the environment.
Ah,
Okay.
yeah, that makes
so
sense.
It's my magic versus global warming versus California wildfires.
Yeah. Oh god.
And, yeah,
The
it
wild.
was awesome yesterday though, or was it Friday? I'm not sure what day it was. But when I woke up, I'm like, oh, it kind of looks like rain, and I'm like, nope.
Mm-hmm.
The Dark Lord has come down from Mordor.
Yeah, that
The
was.
sky is black and it's raining ash. It hasn't been like this since 2003. That was interesting.
Yeah, it was midweek. I remember. I think it was maybe Thursday or something.
Mhm.
Where, yeah, it was Thursday because I had Charlie and I went to my apartment and she like wanted to go outside and play, and I took one look out there and like took a whiff outside my door and was like, no, we're not running around. I'm not gonna have you inhaling smoke and ash. We played outside for I think maybe half an hour or so before I was like, no, we're going back in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course she
Seriously,
didn't
yeah.
want to, but it was
Of
like,
course not.
I'm
She's
not.
like, oh, look at this. This is fun.
Yeah.
This is fun. This is. I'm 2 years old. I have no concept of breathing things that I'm not supposed to be breathing. Because
Right,
They
and it's
will
like
kill me.
I'm just walking out there, and I'm already like, "Ooh, man, I'm not loving this." And she's running, tearing around. I'm going, "Yeah, this is gonna mess up your lungs if we're out here too long." So,
It's true. It's
yeah,
very, very true.
it's been rough.
Yeah.
It's been a rough week.
Yeah. It's just been that way all around. But we got some stuff. We played the When Darkness Comes game.
Yeah.
I was
That was
very
fun.
happy with that.
Rin
And,
was really she's mentioned a number of times that that's been a game that they were really happy with.
good.
Yeah,
I'm very.
enjoyed the
glad.
role playing aspect of it specifically.
Yeah. You see.
Yeah,
that's
getting into the character and
now you understand the gospel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
getting-
all right, let's do the thing.
which I realize now that's the thing that can be done in a lot of board games that I've never really bothered with in most of them, unless there's an explicit role playing aspect to it.
Right.
Yeah, but it was nice to kind of feel like that was more encouraged. And that was a lot of you encouraging it more than the game, but
Well,
still.
the game is there. It has
Yeah.
its stats. It has all that stuff. One of the things about that game, like I said, we use the pre-made characters, but there are mechanics and character sheets with the game to make your own character.
I'd like to do that another
And,
time. Yeah.
Maybe the next time we do that, if I can get there before 9 p.m. Hello. Whoa, look at me. Hey,
Oh.
yeah, how you doing? You
Yeah.
know. Sorry, guys. He loves you guys in the chat so hard that sometimes he's like, I'm talking to him and he's like, and what's this here in the chat? I'm like, hey, millennial. Hey, millennial. Put down your phone. We're at work. But yeah, next time if I can get there before 9, maybe we can actually do the character creation thing. One of the things that I ended up doing this week that was really tough, is booking a job outside of here. But I can't say no to the money.
Yeah,
Cannot say
getting
no.
paid is generally the number one priority.
Well, the thing
Yeah.
is, the pay that I'm getting from this, I'm combining with the GoFundMe, which is right down there in the description, guys, to upgrade the gear in this place.
Yeah.
And because I want to start taking, or I'm going to start taking some of these shows on the road, so that I can
Yes.
talk with a lot of the brick and mortar store people.
Yeah, we were just talking a little bit earlier before the stream started about how you're planning on going to a bunch of the different local stores and starting to do shows like this from the stores.
Well, the thing is, I used to.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to look in the archive on our YouTube channel, they'll have the very first episode of Coffee and Conversation that I did at the Dice House with Twan, except my co-host was a cute redhead girl. And by co-host, I mean she was the host. I was running the camera and all that stuff. So,
Fair enough.
Don't
Well-
have her anymore. Less side.
well, I mean, you and I met when you came to a game store to film a game for your channel.
Exactly.
Like this is a
So-
thing that you've been working on for many years at this point,
And
And
now
it's-
I'm almost capable of
Yeah.
going all over the country.
which
and
is
doing it.
awesome. Yeah.
Or should I say, capable of going all over the country in theory.
you,
So, all right. So I think we're back. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like we're back. We're
All
back
right.
again. Hang
This
on.
is.
So yeah, that's what we're doing. But yeah. So I
Is
will
the, is
be
the
able,
are the technical difficulties just for our show, or are they happening for the other shows?
I
you've
don't
been
watch
running?
very many other live streams.
I'm saying for the shows you've been putting out, the other shows you've been putting out.
Yeah, it's been doing.
It's been
this
an ongoing
for a
thing.
lot of
All right.
things.
All right.
But yeah, so but like I was saying, I want to I'm gonna be letting the people know, like, yeah, we're doing this episode from Dice House,
Right,
in
right.
Fullerton. We're doing this episode from Dragon's Lair in Austin, or Mothership Games
Yeah.
in Austin, Texas. We're doing this other show from Your Mom's Basement in Philadelphia. You know, that's the goal. That's what I'm aiming for.
Yeah,
You
well, that'd
know?
be awesome. Like,
Yeah.
like I say, you and I met at a game store filming games.
And it's no longer there, sadly.
It was a good store. I really
was.
missed that one, but turns out certain people's politics sometimes get in the way of their money, and
And that was
it
sad.
happens. Yeah,
That was really sad. I was so angry about that.
yeah,
Um,
and it shouldn't have gone down the way it did, but I mean,
But
it went down the way it did. Yeah, and that's actually, I mean, part of why we do what we do here.
Exactly.
Is because for those of you who don't know,
Oh, no,
we're-
they don't need to know.
They don't need to know? All right,
That's,
all right.
That's not our story to tell.
that's not our story to tell. Well,
our
fair
story to
enough.
tell.
That's why we're here,
Um,
is to help
What
promote
we can
understanding.
say is the name of the store. We can say
Okay.
the name of the store, and they
That
can
was-
do their own research.
It was Mercenary Market in Costa Mesa.
Yeah, Mercenary Market.
So for anyone who wants to look up the sordid story of that, it was a good store.
Yeah,
It's a bummer it's
exactly.
gone. But there are many other stores that are not gone that we are looking to start doing our live streams at. You mentioned Dice House.
Comic Hideout.
Comic Hideout. That was one
Comic
on
Hideout.
Harbor, right?
That's on Orangethorpe.
Orangethorpe.
Orangethorpe at Harbor in
Ah,
Fullerton.
gotcha. Okay.
So it's live, just
Yeah.
that thing. So
Now, do they do just comics there, or is it also miniatures, games,
it's,
board games?
It's mainly comics.
Mainly comics,
comics and collectibles.
All right.
Comics and maquettes. Because it's one of those things. Yeah. Sorry, Kieran. Yeah, I know connection is terrible.
Yeah.
By the way, today I decided, since it's a couple of people's birthdays, or the weekends of a couple of people's birthdays, I decided to give a shout out to one of our most loyal deckers. And I
Ooh.
mean, this dude has been freaking towing the line for Back in the Deck for, God, 4 years now.
Yeah?
4 years. So, this is to you, right here. This one is to you. Boom, 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 boom. He knows.
Okay.
So, I'm just saying, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah?
It's one of those, yeah, I still got it type things.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, so that's the whole thing. So, I wanted to talk today.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk today about a couple of things.
All
a
right.
couple of things, because we played a game.
We did.
We played a game,
That's
and
fun.
it was a good game.
Yes.
It's a good game. It was a fun game. There
Yeah,
were
we
a
fought some
lot of-
vampires. We beat the vampires.
Hmm?
I said we fought some vampires. We beat the vampires.
right. It's
Yeah.
By the way, I believe the fourth expansion of that game is called "This Is Not Happening." This is not happening. And
Okay.
Almost the ghetto edition of "I'm not trying to hear that."
Okay.
But yeah, so one of the things that I decided that we should talk about today, since we played a game, is the nature of fun.
Oh, okay.
The nature of fun. Because I see so many discussions.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Is it? All right. Yeah.
Seems
Then
fine.
out there, I know we seem all shiny and stuff, but
I just seem really red.
Hmm?
I mean, it's just my complexion.
one of our people yesterday was like, "Oh no, I looked into the stream thinking those guys need makeup dudes because all I'm seeing is reflection." I'm like, "Dude, it's 1,000 degrees in the freaking studio, and
Yeah.
it's 40% humidity." Okay?
Or more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is that, but the nature of fun, because we've been talking about, you and I met on the War Machine tables.
Yeah.
And I know when we met, I confused the crap out of you. I'm aware.
Well, I certainly didn't do you any favors by refusing to understand fun the way you did, and I think we both were talking over and around each other for a good several years on that front.
Yeah. And then the second half of your development into adulthood hit, and then you were like, "Oh, that's what he meant."
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Well, but by the same token, I feel like I also was able to bring you to a certain level of understanding why competitive can be fun in the way that I was enjoying it, even though it wasn't. You don't enjoy it, but you understand where I get the enjoyment from it more than you did when we met. I think.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. No, but yeah. So one of the things that I started thinking about, because yesterday we were talking about what we did this weekend. I went to go see one of our Decker stores. Okay, being Majestic Collectibles. Now this guy.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, this guy is one really awesome.
Okay.
And he had a donation for Big P. Yeah, he had a donation for it. He had a donation for us.
Where's the store located?
This store is actually in Orange.
Oh, nice.
Literally, over by.
Yeah, I see the map right there.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's not too far from Angel Stadium.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's that Chapman.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the other Chapman.
Yes.
For any non-locals, there's two Chapmans that are 10 minutes away at most, and they run the exact same parallel direction in just two different cities.
Exactly.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's never confusing for anyone.
Yeah. So anyway, so I went down to see him, and my girl who hates when I call her a hobbit, understand she's like 5 foot 2.5. I'm 6'4". So I'm a wizard. She's not.
I didn't realize she wasn't a fan of the.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh yeah, Hey Sean, what's going on, man? Yeah. So seriously, I went down to see those guys, and my dulcet darling went on one of her things. Now, when I say one of her things, one of the things that helps keep a happy relationship is. There is the our money, there is the your money, and there is the my money.
Yep.
The only money in a long-term relationship that you should really be worried about is the our money.
Yeah.
Okay, it's that stuff in the middle. Like,
yep.
Which one of us are paying which bill?
Yep.
Which, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
But when it comes to their money...
Yeah, your
Done,
business,
done,
man.
Done. I'm out.
Yeah, and that's speaking from experience, that's been a sticking point. Even when our money is handled and rent's covered and everything else, if someone's not okay with how their money is being spent, the other person's money, it's like, well, how come you're buying all, but I can't afford? It's like, hey man,
dude, you handle your money.
Yep.
I handle mine.
Yep. We
handle ours. Now, if you can't afford something of yours, and you want to ask me for help, I probably won't say no.
Sure. And that's the point, is it's like, if one person is doing better financially than the other, that's not a problem, so long as they're both on the same understanding that our money is handled first, and then leftover money, if you want to go buy miniatures or game stuff, or, I don't know, go out to bars or get manicures or whatever you want to do with your money, have fun with it. That's yours. Our money is handled, and I will do what I want with my money.
Right. So, so in a nutshell, her money is much larger than mine. And so I went in there to talk to the guys at Majestics, and she's like, "Oh, I would like to pick that starter set." And I'm like, "Okay, I knew that would happen." Then she's like, "Do you have any of this last set?" "Yes, I will have a case of that." "And do you have any more of this set that I just bought the starter for?" "I will have a case of that." And then I'm like, oh, we should have gone to the bank. And so in a nutshell, she spent a lot of money on HeroClix yesterday.
Nice.
A lot of money.
Nice? Question mark?
Oh, no. Again, her money.
Okay, yeah.
The only thing I ever like the only time when she's doing a lot of these impulse buys that I ever butt in on is, babe, honey, sweetie, baby doll, sugar. We don't have space in the apartment for this.
Yes. That's actually we've talked about it before, the space thing.
Yeah.
It's something I'm grappling with a lot right now. I've got a friend who's got a baby coming in November he's trying to blow out of everything. He's like, okay, what can I live without here? I've got all these board games. I'm not playing them. Okay, they're going.
Mm-hmm.
I got all these miniatures games. I play this one and this one. I'm not gonna play the others. Okay, they're going. You know, so he's blown out of everything. But yeah, those impulse buys. You know, I'm looking at like, oh man, I want to get some new toys and some new terrain, and I got nowhere to put it. So I got to get rid of stuff. And yeah, it influences what you can impulse buy if you have to keep in mind where the hell you're gonna put it.
Now, if I end up becoming as successful as, say, George R. Martin,
you should be so lucky.
Mm-hmm.
I would hope that your life goes that direction.
Yeah, I mean, because truth, once that happens, we good.
Yeah,
we good.
Yeah,
I can buy her a house for her stuff.
you can
buy one to live in.
You can have a warehouse full of all the stuff you want, and then you can have a place to live in that doesn't have all the stuff cluttering it up.
Oh no, the warehouse is going to be for the filmmaking.
Well, you can have a warehouse for your filmmaking and a warehouse for storing your stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, but and here's the thing, I love that store. I love Majestics. Patrick has been one of the most supportive store owners since Twan.
Nice.
Okay, that
nice.
is I can say that.
Patrick's the store owner for Majestics.
Majestics, yeah.
Nice.
And although the people that go to Majestics, they are all tournament all the time.
For HeroClix or for everything?
For HeroClix.
Okay.
Generally, because that's all he sells.
Oh, okay.
He sells HeroClix, Dice Masters, and there's another store in the little strip mall that does Magic. Okay, so
he doesn't even sell Magic.
Nope.
Really?
Clicks.
Huh.
Clicks. I took Dave down there. I took not even good at stuff.
I don't doubt it.
It's maybe double the size of this studio. Maybe.
Is that the place you took me to?
Yes, packed to the gills with HeroClix.
Yeah. I didn't realize that was Majestics.
Yeah, that was Majestic Collectibles. And,
okay.
Yeah. And so yeah, I'm just sitting up going, okay, no, we're doing that, and yeah, she bought a lot of clicks.
Nice.
A lot of clicks based on a property that she really likes that we'll get into a little later. But here was the thing. Here was the thing.
Mm-hmm.
The people there were just like, I'm playing competitively.
Yeah.
And Patrick and I laugh because we've read all the same comics.
Sure.
We like all the same comics. We appreciate the comic books for what they are. So when I put together teams that are based on comics, not based on winning the game of HeroClix, not based on that competitive thing, but yeah, this team is awesome. And then people will play me, and if it wins, they'll be like, how did that happen? These powers shouldn't be this and I'm like, here's the book.
Yeah.
Take a look at the comic book. It's just these 3 issues, and you'll see where they got the inspiration to create this figure. Yep. And it's fun. It's all fun.
And that's very similar. Whenever I look at the competitive Warhammer 40K scene, I the same sort of people like, well, I'm just going to take this because it works well with this, and like they find an army list that works and has the synergies they want, and I look at that and I go, that looks like not fun. There's nothing about that. If I was reading a Warhammer book, or if I was imagining how one of these battles would go, it wouldn't look like this. I want to have my my dudes that have their own backstory. One of the armies that I have for that game is basically a terrorist cell that has they've got a whole. It's mostly infantry based because they don't have vehicles. They don't have a lot of the other stuff that they would need to run a large campaign. So they're operating on sneaky guys, hiding in buildings, shooting rocket launchers, and it's not a super competitive list. Like if I was to go to a tournament, I would just get a train run on me with every list I played against. But the idea is it's fun. It's got a good story behind it. It actually fits really well with the lore for this faction. And
that's exactly the point.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking. Okay, there's a lot of articles out there. I've mentioned in previous shows Things like the Magic the Gathering article about the 3 types of Magic players,
Yeah.
and it's all winning, 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 winning.
Yeah.
And just the different ways that you win, and that will determine your fun. If you have fun by winning this way, if you have fun by building a deck that wins this way,
Yeah.
if you have a deck, and it really got me thinking. If winning is a fundamental staple of having fun, i.e., if you have to win to have fun at what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
why in the name of all that's holy would you play a game where it's mandatory for someone to lose?
Yeah. And that's the point right there. I've recently been having a conversation with one of my friends. We've been playing the new Games Workshop game Kill Team,
Right.
which, like any miniatures game, is a game where you have 2 or more people playing, and one of them is going to win. If you play a 4-player game, one of them is going to win. It's the way the game works. It's the way
everyone else will lose.
Yeah.
And that is...
And I've had to have this conversation with this friend because he was getting super salty about losing, and he built this really fun, fluffy kill team that he is painting up really well. It has a great backstory to it. The models are beautiful, and it's like, good. All of this is great. He loves the entire process of creating this, and then we played a game and he lost, and. Like, it wasn't exactly a blowout, like, oh my god, you lost every model you had. It was like, he lost 3 models, I lost 2. We each had 6 that we started with.
Right.
And, I played a better game. I got on the scenarios, I got on the objectives, and I ended up winning on points, not by, again, murdering all of his stuff. But the fact that he lost meant that he was very salty about it. And he was coming back and going, well, I need to change my entire army list, and how can I... And it was like, dude... One of us was gonna lose, no matter what. Like, there was no other way the game was gonna go other than one player wins and one loses. And you didn't... It's not like you lost in the sense of, like, every model you brought was terrible, and that's why you lost.
I'm gonna need you to scoot over just a bit there. Yeah, you keep getting off... Oh, I know why you keep going off center on screen. I get you.
Is it because there's a divot in the thing?
No, it's because you keep going closer to the mic. That's the whole thing. Here's the thing. You don't have to. No, I'm saying you don't. No, you keep moving your body closer to the mic. You don't have to.
All right.
That mic picks you up just fine, exactly where it is.
How's this look? Is this better?
Yeah. Well. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's it. So
Hello, listeners.
on my mic, I have to lean in like I'm about to get $20.
God damn.
You on the other hand, you on the other hand don't have to.
Okay.
Okay, you can just talk.
All right.
So yeah, he's still learning the studio tools and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
It turns out I don't have a entire history of a couple of decades of professional sound work or wherever you're at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, but I get exactly what you're saying. He gets all salty.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, well, you get salty when you lose. I'm like, no. I get salty when I lose by not being allowed to play.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the big thing. Like, we played a fun game. We played a game on that guy, and it was like, okay, that's what you do in a game like that. You see what a threat is, you identify that threat, you kill that threat. But
Okay, yeah, we're getting there, and we're back.
Oh, we're back again? Oh,
yeah, we're
okay.
back. The connection had gone, and then it came back, and then it left, and then it came back. I'm gonna have to call. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, we just found out Sean would pay you $20. It's good to know.
Yeah, Sean's is a good friend.
I'm sure. But yeah, so in a nutshell, so that was the whole thing, and it's like, all right, if you have to win in order to have fun, I'm just sitting up going, maybe, just maybe, co-op games would be good.
Yeah.
Now this got me thinking about another game, and this is a game that the Viking played this week.
Okay.
And if you guys go back to Fluff Talk, which is the video before this one, oh my God, the Viking has never been that salty.
Whoa.
Lutefisk has nothing on what he was on Friday.
What game got hit? Like, I mean, he comes off as a pretty mellow dude most of the time. Like, at least as far as game salt is concerned. So, like, there's been games where I've just stomped the ever-loving crap out of him in War Machine. And,
Really?
Yeah, remember that time when I killed his Mountain King with Revenant Crew?
I wasn't there for that.
I mean, you were. We drove to. Anyway,
okay.
the point is, like, some troops that had no business defeating his giant, awesome monster just ran a train on him, and he was just like, "What is going?" You know, he was not thrilled that happened, but he certainly didn't get that salty. So I'm curious if that situation didn't get him there, what did?
Well, see, here's the thing. He gets really salty about game mechanics.
Okay.
He is a crunch wizard.
Ah.
Okay? He really is. And you talked about Bloodborne. The new card game.
Bloodborne. Okay.
Bloodborne is like a deck build.
I've heard of it. I haven't played it or looked into it.
Bloodborne is based on a video game.
Okay.
Okay, and Bloodborne essentially has Bloodborne essentially has the same game mechanics. I'm pretty sure it's part of the series, but I'm not sure. But it has the same game mechanics as Dark Souls. Okay.
Oh,
which
okay.
Is hard. It's just hard. It's if you plan, much like Call of Cthulhu, if you plan on going adventure, I'm gonna kill it with my sword, you will lose a lot.
Yeah.
And hard. And Bloodborne is essentially the same type of game. You guys can check out YouTube clips. And they decided to make a board game out of this.
I mean, they also made a Dark Souls board game.
Hooray! Whatever.
When you open up the Dark Souls board game, the first thing is like a little sheet on top of it, and it just says "You died," which is the thing, of course, that everyone sees all the time in Dark Souls. Yeah. Like, you have died.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here we are.
Yeah.
Sure did happen, didn't it?
It happened a lot. It happened again. And Bloodborne, in and of itself, pretends to be a co-op game. Now, in this sense, it reminds me a lot of zombies. I have to say it that way because there are 3 exclamation points at the end.
Certainly.
From Twilight Creations, where you're in a Romero movie.
Yeah.
Okay, you're in a Romero movie.
Yeah, and ostensibly you're all fighting the zombies, and you're theoretically on the same team.
But it's got this undercurrent of I don't have to be faster than the zombies. I have to be faster than you.
Yes, which is a fun undercurrent if everyone's on the same page. That's kind of how you're doing it.
Exactly. And Bloodborne has that. It has that undertone. Except it says, by the way, we have the undertone of, if you really look at our game mechanics, you can turn on your friends really easily.
Yeah.
But we're a co-op game.
Yeah.
And if you don't turn on your game, or turn on your friends, you all will probably die.
Yeah.
But it's a co-op game.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's always... I love games like that where you're working together to a certain point. And there's a lot of good board games like it.
I don't know. I really don't know. Like, Zombicide, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Because we're a co-op game.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. We're cooperating.
Yeah.
It's us against the zombies, or all of us against the dealer, like I talk about in Blackjack.
Yeah.
And
it's all for one and one for all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you know I'm all about each one teach one.
Yes.
Not to say that I don't play one-on-one competitive games. Again, I preach the gospel of HeroClix.
Yeah.
I play War Machine.
Yeah.
I'm even almost willing to get into that Games Workshop game that you keep talking about.
Hey. Well, I think Kill Team's about your speed. It's a handful of models.
Yeah, so, and I'm willing to do these one-on-one games where there can be only one.
Yeah.
But I enjoy playing. I'm Mr. for the love of the game.
Yeah, rocking the hole.
Yeah, rocking the hole. Exactly. Yeah. We're rocking the hole. I'm a rocking the hole gamer.
Just go out, play some games.
Yeah,
have fun because you're playing the game. Full stop.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But with the people that must win. Now, I'm going to make this very clear. As much as I hate disclaimers, I hate them. I hate them.
Wow, okay.
Because they're overused, and I think people are far too sensitive. Okay? So I have to put out the disclaimer because I'm not saying you're a bad person if you only have fun by winning. What I am going to say is that if you can only have fun if you win, choose your game carefully.
Yes.
Because when everyone's on the same page as to what kind of game is being played and to what level the game is being played, then fun can be had. It's like house ruling in RPGs. Okay? All players have to know about the house rule. All players have got to understand the house rule.
The term that I use a lot is expectation management. I use this in my life for everything.
Oh yeah.
But like if you're going into a game, expectation management, like you just said, is so important because you have to be everyone's on the same level. Even if that's not what you're all going to be the most hyped on, you all have to be on the same page.
Right.
Like if you're all going in there to play to win, and you're only going to have fun by winning, and everyone's going to be cutthroat about it, you're all going to be on the same page about that.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, if one guy shows up to play Rock in the Hole and everyone else is there to bite his head off,
then
not that you have any experience with that, I'm sure.
Oh, none. Yeah, I know. One of the Rick and Morty streams that I watch have been doing this whole thing too.
Where the stream keeps going down?
Yeah, and skipping in certain parts and stuff like that. So, I'm not.
Looks
quite
like
sure.
we're back.
Yeah, it looks like we're back. Chat, what do you got to say? What do you got to say? Are we back? Are we not back?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the word? What's the word on that? And we're back. Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Host.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's. Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, that is not part of my character at all. I don't flip tables. I don't.
But yeah, like the nature of fun itself and like how you're gonna enjoy a game, I think the expectation management is more important than any sort of personal play style because you can, I believe at least, that anyone can have fun in a game as long as expectations are managed ahead of time. You and I have talked on this show about how Session Zero is so important for a role-playing game because it's primarily expectation management for what you're going to be getting into.
Absolutely. That is one of the biggest things. And yesterday, I had another, let's call it 0.1 session for a nominee because, we had forgotten to do a few things. Speaking of which, I do have a question for the chat because I'm thinking about going away from YouTube and going onto Twitch.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about. Excuse me. We'll talk about that.
I vote Twitch personally. I said I vote Twitch. For,
a lot of people vote Twitch. But I need to know the virtues and the vices of going to Twitch. Is the thing. Because again, that's just another ocean for me to be a drop in. So.
Yeah, I just think that as far as oceans to be a drop-in, and we can talk more about this after the stream, but I think that Twitch being a platform designed for live streaming versus a platform designed for uploading videos is going to serve you a little bit better.
It's true, and we might stop with all of this. We're on, we're off, we're on, we're off. So, I don't know.
I mean, it's worth a try.
Some people are actually buying their own services, and I'm looking in a Discord as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, we got a vote for Twitch in the chat so far.
Yeah, we do. But we'll see how some of the nominee stuff goes and all that jazz. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Well, back on subject though, you're saying you're getting back into session 0.1. Was because you forgot some stuff in session 0. Now, was session 0.1 also part of your expectation management for that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. To let people know, like, hey, this is what we're doing in this game. This is the kind of thing we're doing. I know. Essentially, it exists with people that have been gaming with me for a long time.
Okay.
But
which helps with expectation management quite a bit.
Because it really does.
Yeah, if you have a long-running role-playing session, especially with a known DM, like, you already know what to expect to a certain degree.
To a certain degree, absolutely.
Yeah.
And, I'm all about disclosure.
Yeah.
I would say I have many secrets, but outside of my magic, there's no room in my head to keep secrets outside of the ones I have to keep for the universe. So I'm like, here, this is the type of game we're going to be playing.
I'll remember you said that the next time you're being vague about something.
Huh?
So I'll remember you said that the next time you're being vague about something.
I'm going to clear something up real quick.
Yeah.
I ain't vague intentionally.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if you don't know, just ask.
Okay. I will keep that in mind.
Yeah, that was, So, but in a nutshell, that whole playing to win is absolutely fine.
Sure.
As long as you're on that page.
And there's a reason that so many games exist where there's that competitive angle where one person wins and one person loses.
Or one person wins and everyone else loses.
Yeah.
And when that's your
Yeah,
goal,
absolutely.
When that's your goal, one of my favorite board games right now. Okay, like my favorite board game of all time is still Settlers of Catan. I'm a
such a
Settlers.
good game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a
Absolutely
Settlers,
such a good game.
Streetwalker. But I'm loving Splendor.
I haven't played that one yet, but I hear a lot of good things.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good. But again, with the winners, there can be only one.
Yep.
I
Most
like Game of
games.
Thrones.
Yeah.
And there can be only one.
There's only one winner for that game.
Yeah. Matter of fact, you win or you die.
Yep.
There's no in between.
Yeah. And even with a lot of, as we mentioned, a lot of the cooperative games to one degree or another, there's gonna be, like in our game of When Darkness Comes on Monday, we all won or lost together in the sense of we killed vampires. But then there was also the person who won the most by getting the most victory points by the end of the game, and so there's
I call them the MVP.
Yeah. But I'm saying there's
the
a
most valuable player, and did we survive?
Yes, and there's a lot of games I've noticed that work similarly, where you have somebody who is going to be the winner within the group, but then the whole group is winning or losing together.
Exactly.
The other game that comes to mind right now is Dead of Winter. Have you played that one yet?
Not yet.
It's similar actually to When Darkness Comes in the sense that there's a zombie apocalypse and we're all trying to survive, but each player has their own secret agenda that they need to do to win. So that agenda might be you need to have a gun and 3 things of fuel by the end of the game because you're planning on leaving. Yeah. And nobody else knows what your secret agenda is, but your goals may be opposed to that of everyone else's if they're trying to hoard fuel and you're also trying to hoard fuel. And so you may find yourself in competition with your friends.
Yeah, that is a weird thing. That right there. And my bad, the camera was not on you in that entire time. I'm operating a whole lot of things. To answer a question from the chat, I don't know. I'm pretty sure there is, but I can assure you that there is a Highlander card game.
Yes, I know about the card game.
It's a collectible card game, and it is done. And by done, I mean you can go online and get an entire playable set of the game for like $200-300. And when I say entire playable set, you can have up to four of each card, or you can pick your favorite immortal from the television show or the movie, and you can order their deck, and you can play the game. And the entire game is based on a sword fight. You are in a sword fight with that person. Have I shown you how to play yet?
You told me a lot about it. We've never sat down at the table and played it.
Okay, we'll do that one of these days very soon.
Yeah,
very soon. Again, it was passed on from my good friend and mentor Norm Lau.
Yeah, I was about to say that sounds like a Norm game.
Oh my god, it was his gateway game. Yeah, that was his crack. That was his pie. That
the gateway that oh wow, there's a whole world full of these games. Yeah.
So yeah, but with that, we had so in conclusion, the whole thing about Sean, I totally get that on Sean, because it is Bloodsport down there. It is Bloodsport at Majestics. These guys play to win, and they will spend as much money as it takes to get the figures that will win.
Yeah.
But that entire environment is based on doing that. That's the pool you're jumping into.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, that expectation management, if you are not interested in playing that sort of cutthroat game, that's fine. Just don't go play at Majestics.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
That's the whole... I used to complain about, since I'm not that kind of player, and people assumed I was, they would play that way, and I'm like, dude, I don't even know this game.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, I'm a white belt, and I need to learn by sparring with Chuck Norris? No thanks.
Yeah, you're just going to keep getting your ass beat again and again, and it's just not going to be fun for you, or probably not even for your opponent, because they're not going to get anything out of that game. They're not going to hone their skill. They're not going to be sharpening their blades against someone who has no idea what they're doing.
But what I have noticed is that is the very Eastern method of learning. It
just
is
training against someone significantly tougher than you?
Not training, just fighting. Because I didn't realize how good I'd gotten until I played someone that was a lower skill level than the people that had been beating me stupid.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, well, now I see what's happening. Nah, I prefer the teacher-student sit down and lecture type format. That's just my...
I mean, for what it's worth, that was a lot of what I was getting out of War Machine tournaments as well. You know, I go there, I get my ass beat again and again and again, and then I get it beat a little less, and then I get it beat a little less.
Well, then you'd play me, and I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I didn't
and
know you
that
could
was
do that. Good day. Yeah.
That was the part I didn't really make the connection of, because I started out being terrible, and then like I was slamming up against this wall again and again, and then I didn't realize how much better I was getting and how it was changing my mindset on how competition and how games worked in general, until I went up against someone like you who's just there to play the game for the fun of it, and I had lost sight of that in the process of becoming more competitive.
Yeah, and so it's one of those, know the pool you're jumping into and know the kind of swimmer you are.
Yeah.
So going back, speaking of Majestics, now of course I preach the gospel of hero clicks all the time because I'm a comic nerd, I'm a gaming nerd, when I'm not as a hobby nerd.
Hey man, we all, again, expectation management. You get what you want out of the game.
Fun playing than a professional.
Yep.
My CPU is at 42, is only being 42% utilized. So it's
This,
not my computer.
yeah, I was gonna say, this doesn't seem like a computer problem.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
This seems like an internet problem.
Yeah,
most
back,
most likely
looks like we're back. We're back.
Yeah. Okay.
Going to double check.
All right.
Yeah. So I think we're back. Again. Yep. We're back.
Cool.
All right. Same lag. Yeah. That's right. That's what we got going. But yeah, and so like I was saying, the last property that it was based on was, of course, Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned it before, and my dulcet darling ended up getting a huge amount of these clicks.
Yeah.
It was funny. I'm like, all right, do we need to stop by the ATM? Do you plan on, you know? And she's like, no. I'm like, they're cash only. So, that whole thing. And once she got there, she just got inspired. And it was, I want this, and this, and this, and a case of this. And do you have a case of the other ones? And I'm like, okay, hold up. I'm only doing this for space, hon. Just space. Okay?
Yeah.
You bought a brick of that last set. What figures are you particularly looking for? So we can buy those.
Yeah.
We'll buy the individuals so that we don't have to make space for all the repeats and the stuff that we'll never use. Because
cherry pick just the stuff you want. That's always one of my problems with collectible games in general. Is like, I want
all of them.
This handful of I want a handful of figures, and I want to make my team, and I want it to be good. And I want to have the choice to of how I want to make my team. But after that, I'm gonna have 80% of this team that I don't want.
Yeah.
Or 80% of this collection that I don't want. Now, like, I spent money on 80% of the things I don't even care about, and now what the hell do I do with them?
Yeah, that's one of my major things, and this is what I preach to all the deckers. If you're into a collectible game, buy at least the starter from a brick and mortar store.
Yes.
Always the
starter. I love the starters because you know what you're getting.
Yeah,
like, you're paying money for a specific product.
And if you're like Stickman and you want that dopamine rush of expectation and opening and what am I gonna get?
Yeah.
Then cool. Buy the packs that you want to buy. Some people want like half a case. Some people want a whole case. Yeah. Okay, it's cool. But after that, if you get, and here's the thing, especially about games like Clicks or Magic, by the time you get a case, you have at least one copy of most, however they rank it, common, uncommon, rare, whatever.
Yeah.
You definitely have most of the commons.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, if you get a case, you're probably guaranteed all the commons.
At least one copy of the commons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most copies of the uncommons.
Makes sense.
Half of the rares.
Mm-hmm.
And with clicks, you're pretty much guaranteed a chase per brick, and there's 2 bricks per case, so you're gonna get 2 chases. You're guaranteed 2 chases.
Can you define chase for the
Chase
audience?
is the rarest of rares from that set.
And so the
so
case
rare you have to chase them.
Okay. So the chase and you're saying in the case there's gonna be 1 to 2 of those.
1. In the case, there's gonna be 2.
Okay.
A case is 20 packs.
Okay.
A brick is 10 packs.
Okay.
So, a chase is 1 in 50.
Okay. And is that a guarantee or is that a just statistical probability?
It's a guarantee that there is a chase in a brick.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if you get a brick, you're getting a chase.
Interesting.
Okay? Now, if you buy the individual packs, the packs come from the bricks.
Yeah.
You might get a chase, you might not get a chase. But if you buy a brick, you're getting a chase. And each set has 5 or 6 different chases. Okay, you get me?
Yeah.
Now, the chases themselves, those are the ones that spike in value with goblin pricing. Those are the real collectible ones. Hell, there's a rare, which you're pretty much guaranteed about 6 or 7 rares per case, or per brick.
Okay. 6 or 7 rare. Okay, yeah.
So 6 or 7 rares per 10 packs, which isn't a bad ratio considering.
Yeah.
Because there's only 5, so 6 out of 50 is a rare. 3 out of 50 is a super rare. 1 out of 50 is a chase.
Huh. Okay.
And the one that everyone wants right now is Thanos because it's an awesome sculpt.
Yeah.
And the Infinity movies.
Yeah, Infinity War just came out. Everyone is excited about it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Matter of fact, let me pull up a picture. Because I know you watched Infinity War.
I did. I saw Infinity War. Like, you know, I'm not like the biggest comic nerd when it comes to knowing. Yeah, me. But when it comes to like reading all the comics, knowing the stuff, you know, I follow some of it, at least the big trends. But generally, I enjoy the movies, and I don't go deep into the other lore and know like, well, in this edition or in this run, you had this version of Thanos, and that's where a lot of the click stuff turns me off because it trades a lot on the idea of like, well, this is Spider-Man, but this is the Spider-Man from this comic, or this is the Spider-Man when he had this, and I'm just like, it's all Spider-Man to me. You know, I a lot of that has no meaning to me, and so it's hard for me to get excited about a game with that.
Well, I get that, and one of the things I have to say is really simple. If you like Spider-Man, cool. But from when did you like him? Because Spider-Man in the 60s was different than Spider-Man in the 80s.
Yeah.
Spider-Man in the 80s was different than Spider-Man in the 90s.
No, I totally get that.
Spider-Man in the 90s is way different from what he is now.
Yeah, totally get that.
But yeah, so the big figure that everybody wants right now is this guy.
Ooh.
Okay, that is an awesome sculpt.
That is pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay, and he is super powerful in game. Matter of fact, he is a team.
So he's like all the points for your team is just the one guy.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah, and
I like those a lot in the game actually.
Yeah. And truth, you know, I'm all down. I'm down for that. But like a pack costs $15. That figure is now worth $51. That's how much he sells for.
The
on
one
eBay.
guy.
That one figure. And most of the other Thanoses are $20 each. But you know what? I got used to playing War Machine. So it's like $20 for a figure. How much was I paying for Warjacks? Okay, this is the one I want. So
that's what I'm saying. Like
expectation management.
Yeah, for me, I look at something like that and I go, okay, well, you know, Thanos is. I don't look at it as oh, I have to pay way more than the cost of the pack to buy Thanos. I look at it as Thanos is a $51 model that I purchase. I mean, that's as someone who plays a lot of miniatures games, that's kind of par for the course when you're like, okay, well, this figure just costs this amount of money, and in the case of a war game, it's like, and I have to assemble it, paint it, you know, base it, do all this other secondary work to it. So the idea that a figure just has a set cost and you buy it, it's not really that outrageous to me, especially a larger figure. Like Thanos looks like he's, because is he on a normal size click base or a larger one?
He's on a larger one. He's on a colossal size base.
So how many
It
squares?
takes 4 squares.
So it's gonna be 4 squares. So that's what, probably a 60 or 80 millimeter base or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so like in
it's a colossal base. So
yeah, like in Warhammer terms, I mean, that's probably looking at something the equivalent size of a large singular model, like a large HQ model or a Demon Prince or something. And
yeah,
I mean that's a model that's gonna run probably $60 to $75 in a game like that. And again, you have to assemble it and paint it. So for me,
right. And it's already assembled and painted, and it's cool.
Yeah,
it comes out of the box ready to play. Now this guy,
ooh,
that thing is $100, but it's straight from the comics.
That's
and
cool.
It takes 8 squares.
Yeah.
On the base. No, wait, that one takes 12 squares on the base.
And do you damage like different parts of him as he's going?
No, it's 1 point cost, another point cost, another point cost, and this bastard comes off of the base and can be fought individually.
That's
so this
cool.
is the one from the climax of the comic books. So I mean, as far as games go, you get what you pay for, and he's worth it. Again, he's $100.
Yeah.
But he too isn't just. He's not tournament legal. There's no 300-point version of him. He's like 2,000 points on the base with everything.
So he's what you I believe you've referred to as event level.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's an event level thing.
Yeah, which is super awesome. I love to see more of that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Those are the games I like playing, because it's all of my comic figures against that one guy, just like it was in the comic book.
Yeah.
But in this one, BTAS, this one is Batman the Animated Series, and there are no colossal figures. These are just plain old figures. The thing is, she bought a lot because she loved that show. Matter of fact, you are the only person I know who doesn't have a huge emotional connection to the Batman animated series.
Hell,
from
I'm the only people I know who doesn't have a huge connection to Batman the Animated Series. And that, for those of you who don't know, I was homeschooled for most of my adolescence. And that means that a lot of the stuff that most people my generation grew up with as various pop culture things, various movies that people saw, shows they watched, events that were like major events in their childhoods, I don't have a lot of that because I wasn't allowed to. Everything was the devil. TV was the devil if it wasn't, Disney or PBS. Games.
Poor guy didn't get Don Bluth.
Nope. No Don Bluth. No, nothing. So most stuff that most people my generation have grown up with, I've had to come to later. After I grew up, moved out of my parents' house, I went back and I've been, making it a mission to rewatch a lot of the stuff just so I get the damn references that people are making. Because, and a lot of it I'm noticing doesn't hold up as well as an adult as, because most people.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot. It's the polish of nostalgia. The big one that stands out to me is The Never-Ending Story. It's objectively not a good movie if you come to it as an adult, and if you have that.
I would disagree.
Okay,
I would disagree.
Everyone I've talked to has it polished by nostalgia, and they cannot look at it as an adult without knowing how it made them feel as a child.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
And,
when you say objectively not a good movie, on what levels are you talking?
It's... Honestly, I'd have to watch it again to remind myself, because I watched it and just was like, there's not a lot going on, there's not a lot investing me in the story. I can see as a kid, there's a lot of the, kid magic where I'd be like, this is amazing. But as an adult, it just doesn't have, the magic doesn't translate well into the adult themes that are going to grab me about another movie that might have a similar concept fantasy-wise.
I don't know.
Okay.
Like I said, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, that's getting off topic there.
Yeah, that's.
But Batman
you
the
just
Animated
hit upon
Series.
My favorite fantasy movie
from
my childhood.
Well, I'll not talk
bad
on it.
In my childhood, had nothing to do with, oh, look at the wonder and blah blah blah. It had everything to do with all those dark undertones about the dying of the child's soul. And but again, I'm a Don Bluth kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back to Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's another one where I
now Batman the Animated
haven't
Series.
seen it.
I definitely understand what you're talking about, because there's loads of stuff from my childhood that I actually liked, and only about 4% of it still measures up.
Yeah.
And it's not because it made me feel the way I feel, but it made me think about things. Even as a child, I was big on themes.
Yeah.
I was really big on themes. I was really big on not like, wow, my hero is awesome because he's my hero. My heroes were always awesome because they had to struggle with something internally and stay decent people. And
Okay.
Again, it's because
Explains your love of Superman.
Huh?
It said that explains your love of Superman. Which
that's recent.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm coming around hard on Superman
Yeah,
lately.
yeah.
The more I've been looking into him, the more I'm like, you know,
Like, okay, yeah,
I see what you're
dug
saying,
the
and
Captain America aspect, except he has more things to go against
yeah,
internally than Captain America does.
yeah.
Um,
But again, off topic. Getting
yeah.
back to
Well, not really, because Batman the Animated Series showed the struggle of Batman.
yeah,
It showed this was really the first cartoon that showed how every single member of his rogues gallery is a dark reflection of a singular aspect of Bruce Wayne.
yeah.
And
Which is why everyone has always loved the Joker, but I didn't know that the animated series was looking at all the other villains as well. That
oh my
way.
god,
Yeah.
One, you already know this because it's the piece of trivia that everybody says you should know this because I care. But it invented Harley Quinn.
Okay.
It made Mr. Freeze a three-dimensional villain. The animated series was the series that took I do stuff with cold to I had an accident that reduced my body temperature to not be able to withstand anything above 0 degrees Fahrenheit. But I did this. That was an accident in me trying to find a cure for my wife's terminal disease.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing all of this crime to fund my research to save my wife who's in cryostasis.
Yeah.
And it does things like focuses on they show him monologuing to his wife who's in cryostasis, like Luke Skywalker in Empire Strikes Back when Han brought him in from Hoth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where Laura is. And he's talking to her, like apologizing and promising that he'll find a cure sometime soon and staying focused. And instead of the Schumacher rendition, it turned him into I'm cold on the outside, I'm cold on the inside, because I'll die if any fire burns inside me outside of the love of my wife.
Interesting.
And this was a children's cartoon.
Yeah.
And I'm
And
just
see,
going,
this is the sort of stuff
"Dude."
I'm like, I want to hear these stories.
Yeah.
And I have heard that the show was good. I've heard a lot of good stuff about the various DC cartoons from the 90s, none of which I've seen.
Yeah, and
You know,
I'm
Justice
betting
League was.
people just kept going, it's good, it's so good.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
there's
so
so
good."
many good stories.
And
You
I'm
have
just
like
going-
you get this great look at Batman.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of going,
Yeah.
and I get you. I totally get you on that because people come to me all the time with, it's good. Okay, what's good about it? Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, elaborate, enunciate, use your words.
I took
You
a
know?
class in college for commercial songwriting, and
Okay.
the teacher there, fantastic
I keep
teacher.
forgetting you're a musician too.
Yeah.
We never talk about music.
But anyway, the teacher, one of the really important things about that class was how to define what it is you like about the music.
Yes.
And, you know, related to what we're talking about here, the phrase that he used all the time was like, A+ can dance to it. Like, cause, you know, like, because you ask people, like, what do you like about it? I like it and I can dance to it.
Yeah.
But that's not descriptive. No one can help you understand. You can't replicate that. You can't look for the thing that you like about this music and find it in other music. You can't discover new music if you can't define what it is you like about the music you like. You just like it. A+ can dance to it.
Yeah.
Similarly here, you know, it's like, well, what do you like about Batman the Animated Series? It's so good. Until we started talking about this and you started telling me about all these themes and the story arcs and everything else, I was like, that's all I'd ever gotten was it's such a good show. A+ can dance to it.
Oh,
you know, like,
gotcha.
and so you're giving me actual things where I'm like, no, those are story arcs I want to hear. Much
Yeah.
the way, you know, everyone's like, oh, Superman has good story arcs.
Okay, which ones?
Which ones? And you're like, no, here, I'm going to show you Kingdom Come. I'm going to show you these things that make Superman a character you care about. And suddenly, I'm like, you know what? I do care.
Yeah, this guy is pretty awesome.
He's pretty awesome.
You know, and why are we talking about a cartoon on the game gallery? Simple. One, there are 5 different games that are based on Batman the Animated Series.
Probably more now. I just have a friend coming out with a board game. He works for... God, what company does he even work for now?
Don't worry, he might be under DNR,
No.
sorry, NDA.
Well, no, it's out now. Like
okay.
the game's really... There's a Batman the Animated Series board game that he's been pimping all around the various Gen Cons and everything else.
Yeah, and so again, this is a really sought after property.
Yeah.
There are lots of games about it, and it's one of those things that it's so deep in the zeitgeist. It's
yes.
like, I put Batman the Animated Series on the title of something, and people are going like, "Oh my god, they love it."
Yes.
But it's
regardless of how good the game is, really,
right.
like it'll just sell based on the property.
Right, but the understanding, and this is one of the things I wanted to talk to. This is why I kind of crammed this one in when we were going over what the show was about today.
Yeah.
Because to say A+ can dance to it.
Yeah.
To say I like it because it's good. Or, I like it because it means a lot to me, and if you don't like it, then you don't like me.
Yeah.
I understand the feeling, but the fact is that when people are trying to push a game, to push an experience, when you're trying to get your friends to go, hey, let me explain why I like this, you have to be able to explain it. Einstein, one of my heroes, said very clearly that you do not know something well until you can explain it to someone who's never heard of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my personal goal again. Since this commercial songwriting class actually has been never to say I like something until I can back it up with why.
Yeah.
Whatever the thing is, whether it's music, games, anything else.
Yeah. That's one of the big things. And one of my big things when I'm asking people, why is that good? One of the things they do is just talk about how popular it is.
Yeah.
Or how many people like it.
Yeah.
One of the big surprise, I'm not a big fan of reggae. I'm really not. Yes, I have dreadlocks. Yes, I'm a musician. Yes, I even like country. But I'm not a fan of reggae.
Okay.
And someone tried to tell me, like, man, I don't know why you don't like reggae. Reggae is one of the biggest, it's the most listened to music on the planet.
Yeah.
Everybody likes reggae. It's big here, it's big there, it's big here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what are the qualities? What are the qualities of reggae that make me care about it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
is it just A+ can dance to it? Because turns out reggae is pretty danceable.
That's what I've noticed. And you don't really have to know how to dance to reggae.
You sure don't. It's great watching people at a reggae concert. They have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they're having fun.
Yeah.
A+ can dance to it.
And again,
we're all there. Yeah.
I like it because it's fun is a good enough explanation.
Absolutely. But not for selling someone on a new thing.
Well,
it's a good explanation for why you like it is, you know what, I just like it.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far because for years people kept telling me David Bowie is a genius. Oh my God, his music's so great. Oh my God, Bowie is so good. Oh my God, Bowie is so good. And I like some of his stuff. But once I sat down with my guitar and I started learning how to play David Bowie music, I was actually having fun learning and playing this music. And it showed me what a good song is in the sense of a song is well written if it's enjoyable regardless of who performs it. That's huge. Because I had heard so many people do Space Oddity.
Yeah.
Okay, I've heard Bowie. I've heard hippie guys trying to get laid. I've heard Natalie Merchant. I've heard people trying to learn the song and that were bad at it. But you know what? As soon as you get that bunt, dun 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 dun, everybody's just with you.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know what? And I'm like, okay, that is a good song. It taps into something emotional, and it was intentional in its tapping into that.
Yes.
He meant to do that, and I said, okay. But yeah, so with Batman the Animated Series, there were so many adult themes, and this was, I mentioned to you earlier, my generation had Macross, and that was the first anime that really grabbed on to us as children because people died. The story arcs were very, not just dark, but they had consequences that we didn't see coming because the show was written for adults and shown to children. And we as children had to catch up.
Yeah.
We had G.I. Joe at the same time.
Yeah.
So we have both of these things that are about war and great machinery that makes awesome toys, But in G.I. Joe, lasers flying around everywhere. The only thing that got hit was equipment. Everybody was parachuting out. Nobody had any lasting consequences.
Yeah.
Macross killed the mentor character. And as a kid, this was the first time I'd seen it outside of Obi-Wan Kenobi. But Obi-Wan's death didn't feel like a death.
Yeah, because he kept coming back. He kept talking to Luke.
Yeah.
He was still a character, even though he was dead. And I feel like that's an important distinction, is like, is this person written out of the story because of this?
Oh, Roy Fokker did not come back.
Yeah.
He was gone.
Yeah.
He died on the sofa. And as I became older, I'm just like, he didn't just die. He went out like a boss. So he got shot down in combat. Like, he was the star pilot. He won the day.
Mm-hmm.
He landed his plane. He got out of his flight suit. He took a shower. He went home. He talked to his girlfriend. She put on dinner. And he died on the couch while she was in the kitchen. I'm just like,
yeah, that's some pathos right there.
Yeah, that is some stuff. So that was Macross, and that's what I had as a small child. So I was a teenager by the time Batman the Animated Series came out. And though no one died, per se, this was one of the first cartoons that were on a kid's network.
Yeah.
And it was animated.
Yeah.
So it must be for kids.
Obviously.
And it's showing themes of darkness, dichotomy, sympathetic villains. It was written for adults, and it was the beginning of that whole verse. But it rode the Don Bluth train of drag kids through hell, and if you give them a happy ending, they will thank you forever. Much like American Tail and Land Before Time, Batman the Animated Series did that. And the introduction of the Riddler is called If You're So Smart. And the Riddler became the Riddler because he worked for a tech company. He came up with a fantastic idea because he's really smart.
Sure.
And then his boss took it from him, made millions of dollars, and then fired him. And asked him, if you're so smart, why aren't you rich? And Riddler was like, yeah, if I am so smart. So he kidnaps his freaking boss and steals everything and then pretty much tries to kill him, and Batman and Robin have to stop him. And I'm like, no, I get him. I totally get him. I'm right
you
there.
push a man to that point, which is a lot of, I've noticed the Batman theme is you push a man. Yeah. Well, that's the whole Killing Joke theme. But yeah, the idea is you push a man far enough, and eventually they go to a place where you probably would not have expected them to be otherwise. And I mean, that's literally Batman himself. He's certainly not at a place most people would expect a billionaire to be, but he kind of got pushed there, and here we are. You know?
So and this cartoon is pretty much it didn't say it's a Batman cartoon. It said the animated series. So you watched it. And the kids are loving the animation because it's really smooth. There's a lot of stuff there. It plays a lot with shadows and stuff. Yeah. But the writing is not for children.
Yeah.
I told you to start with the Mask of the Phantasm, which is a chase in this set.
Yeah.
Shout out to Stickman, because this dude spent like $400 looking for that figure.
Did he get it?
Oh, he got it. He got it. I'm like, dude, I could have just got it free aftermarket, but okay.
Yeah, if you just want the one figure, again, expectation management. I go, I want that one figure. It's $100. Okay, well, if I want it, I'll pay $100 for it.
Well, he's also the one that taught me about the dopamine rush of opening packs.
Yeah, so see, that's a whole different factor in that. Where like if you're chasing that too, then you're paying for that as well as paying for looking for the figure. And that is not a thing that is very like that dopamine rush is small for me. So when I'm looking for collectible games of any sort, I'm not into it for that. I'm sorry. Like opening a pack of cards or whatever, I'm like, oh cool, neat. I don't get that like, oh my god, and I got this one, and I got this guy, and it's a very minor like, oh neat, I got some cool stuff. Moving on.
Well, and again, you don't come from the realm of fandom.
It's true.
Okay. What you're telling me, you never even collected baseball cards as a kid.
Nope.
So
I had some collections of stuff, but they were like collections of rocks and collections of coins.
well, more
and...
to the point, collections of things that once you wanted them, you went and got them.
Yes.
And
yeah.
that
Like,
was the thing. There was no chance. There was no uncertainty.
Yeah.
You want it, you go get it.
or in the case of the rock collection, I find it, it's cool, I keep it. You know,
Yeah.
like it's
But
part.
you never really set out to find a rock.
True.
You never said, I'm going to go out and I'm going to find a peridot. I'm going to find a peridot about that big. That's what I'm going to
And
do.
if I stuck with it long enough and I was more into having a collection that met certain requirements, I'm sure I would have. But this was a child's collection that was, I found some pretty rocks, you know. And like if I went to a gift shop and they had some pretty rocks, I'd get some pretty, you know, like it was that sort of thing. But yeah, I never had a collection with a requirement on it, like you say, I need a peridot of this specific size to complete the collection. That was never a thing.
Yeah, no, and I totally get that. I had a similar thing. It was just no money.
Yeah.
Because I had Garbage Pail Kids until my mom found them, and she's like, "What the hell is this? Get this out of my house!" But yeah, so I mean, you know, looking at it like that, like I said, I recommend starting with the Mask of the Phantasm. One, because people die since it was a movie, and it showed what PG-13 used to be. But it really shows a lot of the pathos of Batman, and at least the Batman that was in all the cartoons.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that because seriously, I cry some manly tears over that whole thing, and it's like 90 minutes, and it's Mark Hamill having so much fun as the Joker. Oh, so much fun. So you
Yeah, that's the other thing. I know some of the later stuff that he's done as the Joker, but everyone's like, oh, he started in the animated series. And I'm like, well, I've seen what he did with it. I've seen where he went with his character and how good it is. So I would like to see where it started.
The thing
you know?
is, there wasn't much improvement. That's the
He just
weird-
hit the ground running like that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he hit the ground running on that, and the writers had to catch up. And it was like, you know, but Bruce Timm and Paul Dini did an amazing job, and that's the thing that launched the whole Warner Brothers DC animated universe, including the DVDs, which are as good as the Marvel movies.
Interesting.
Matter of fact, if you really want to watch what Suicide Squad should have been, you should check out Batman Assault on Arkham. It's an animated movie. I'm pretty sure it's on one of the streaming services. But it's an animated movie, and it shows what the Suicide Squad really is and how messed up Amanda Waller was. And it is a good adventure of the Suicide Squad. And man, did Warner mess up by releasing this the same year and earlier than the Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we know you can do it.
Yeah, we've seen what this story can look like when it's done well already.
Yes.
So we're gonna measure whatever you do after this against this bar. And yeah, if you are found wanting by releasing some half-baked piece of garbage,
well, you know, that's where you can see there are different runners of animation and live action and comic books and cartoons. So yeah, it's a thing. So honestly, you know, we might be doing an unboxing
of the bits from the
BTAS.
Nice.
The thing is, a lot of people have already done it, so it's
That's
all
true.
over YouTube. We're behind on that, so we might just tear them open and go yes. So you know, it's just, it might be private, it might be public. I don't know. You guys tell me what you guys want. But guess what?
Chicken butt.
Really?
Really? You left me hanging there.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it's about that time.
What time is it?
It's about the end of the show.
So
we
it is.
actually ran out of time this week. So thanks for showing up and being open to such weird discussions.
I'm always open for weird discussions. You know me. Like we cover an interesting gamut here on the Game Gallery.
Yeah, well, we covered an interesting gamut on a lot of things that we do.
Yeah.
And I also, again, want to thank the chat. Thank you guys for being in there, especially you guys. Again, we might be doing the Twitch thing, we might not. Thank you for seriously sticking with us. I gotta find out why the streams keep cutting, because this is getting old.
Yeah.
So I might have to go to Twitch. I don't know.
Well, it's worth a try. If it's still freaking out on Twitch, then
Yeah.
you know it's a problem with the internet and not the service.
Yeah. So that's one of them things. I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah.
But if you guys have any suggestions or any thoughts on what we should do or games we should cover or talk about and all that jazz, please, in the way of James Brown, please, check us out. Yeah, the last few times I've done the outro, the volume on the desktop was not very high. But check us out by writing us an email at backinthedeck@gmail.com. You can also check us out on YouTube. Thank you for checking us out on YouTube. Join the Deckers on the Book on Facebook. That is our chat group where you guys can talk with each other, talk with us, bring your friends, leave links, show your paintings, do all the stuff that you guys would normally do. If you guys want to listen to our archives, okay, you can find us and download us on SoundCloud, although I'd really appreciate it if you guys went to www.backinthedeck.com. On there, you can actually listen to our archives as well. Download them as you will, and that would really help us out with our budding partnership with SoundCloud. Hit us up on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. That's where we give the announcements every day before we live stream. We've been doing the live stream on my Facebook so that we can figure out the whole sound thing and all that stuff. So if you guys want to friend me, you can, but I wouldn't recommend it. Just join Deckers on the Book. On top of all that, I'm going to say check us out on our next thing being, woo, isn't that fun, our Twitch channel. At Twitch, twitch.tv/BID_P, just like our SoundCloud, which is Big P and all that jazz. So, with that, I want to say thank you guys for showing up because we really appreciate it. Pretty soon we're going to be taking this show on the road and having Skype guests call in, and that is going to be fun as well. So, thank you for showing up, guys. Thank you, Mr. Diggy Duggernotty. Do that to them, not me. Yeah, there you go, there you go. And with that, I'm going to say that I appreciate you guys showing up. And if people tell you that you can't like what you like or have the hobbies you like because of your race, religion, creed, sexual preference, gender identity, disability, or your budget, because I grew up poor just like some of y'all, remember, the trailer park right next door to the projects. You just tell them to take those cards and put them back in the deck. This is Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, saying thank you guys for tuning in to Game Gallery, and we will see you tomorrow on Buster Recap.